For centuries, we've been told that leaders speak up. That success goes to those who dominate conversations, command attention, fill every silence with their presence. But if you look closely at the people who actually change rooms without saying a word, the ones who everyone watch, you'll find something surprising. They say almost nothing. Today, we're going into the psychology of silent people. Not shy people, not scared people. Silent people, the ones who choose their words like they choose their battles. And there are 7 specific reasons why science says these people are operating on a completely different psychological level. While the average person is thinking about what to say next, the silent person is watching. They're reading micro-expressions. They're clocking the energy shift when someone enters a room. They're noticing who breaks eye contact first, who laughs too hard, who fidgets when a certain name comes up. Researchers at the University of Washington found that individuals who talk less in group settings score significantly higher in situational awareness, the ability to understand what is actually happening beneath the surface of any interaction. In other words, they already know things about you that you haven't told them. This isn't magic, it's attention. And attention is a resource most people give away for free. Silent people hoard it. Think about the last time you said something you immediately regretted, something that came out wrong under pressure, or in anger, or in a moment of insecurity. Now think about a quiet peron. You know, when's the last time you saw them do that? Silent people have an almost eerie relationship with their emotions. Not because they don't feel, but because they've developed what psychologists call the pause response. Instead of reacting, they regulate. Instead of speaking out of emotion, they wait until they can speak with intention. The prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making and impulse. Control is more active in people who practice deliberate silence. They're not suppressing emotion, they're processing it. And by the time they speak, they've already done the work. Here's something dark that most people never think about. Talking takes energy. Performing takes energy. Filling silence because you're uncomfortable with it, that is one of the most exhausting things a human being does every single day. Silent people conserve something precious, cognitive bandwidth. They're not spending mental energy trying to appear smart, keeping up a social performance, or managing other people's impressions of them. That energy goes somewhere else, into thinking deeper, seeing further, and acting with a precision that most people can't match. In evolutionary terms, this isn't weakness. This is efficiency. Predators don't announce themselves. Most conversations are just 2 people, taking turns interrupting each other's half-formed ideas. We speak before we think. We talk to process. And there's nothing wrong with that, except that it means very few people are ever operating at their full intellectual capacity in real time. Silent people don't speak until the thought is complete. This isn't hesitation, it's architecture. By the time they open their mouth, they know exactly what they mean, why they mean it, and what impact the words will have. That's why when a quiet person finally says something, the whole room listens. Psychologist Adam Grant has written extensively about how introverted thinkers, people who process internally before expressing, tend to produce more innovative ideas precisely because they let thoughts fully form before releasing them. There's a principle in economics called scarcity. When something is rare, it becomes valuable. A diamond is precious partly because it's hard to find. A word from a silent person works the same way. When you talk constantly, your words become background noise. People start filtering you out. But when you speak rarely, every word you say is treated like signal. People lean in. They take notes mentally. They remember what you said because it doesn't happen often. This is why some of the most powerful leaders in history were notorious for their silence in meetings. Not because they had nothing to say, but because they understood something fundamental. The one who says the least often controls the most. Power requires a degree of mystery. When people can't predict you, they can't manipulate you. When they can't read you, they can't prepare for you. Silent people are psychologically dangerous in the best possible way because they are fundamentally opaque. The social contract most people operate under is you share, I share. You reveal, I reveal. But silent people opt out of that contract entirely. They receive everything and give almost nothing. That asymmetry of information is one of the most powerful positions any human being can occupy. Poker players call it having no tells. Silent people don't just hide their tells. They never had them to begin with. Here's the one that surprises people the most. You'd think that quiet people would be lonely. that the ones who say less would connect less. But research on attachment styles tells a different story. Because silent people listen, actually listen, not just wait for their turn. The people in their lives feel genuinely heard, possibly for the first time. When you don't need to be the center of every conversation, you create space for other people to be seen, and people never forget the person who made them feel that way. The connections that form around silent people are fewer but far deeper. While the loudest person in the room has 500 followers, the quiet one has 5 people who would do anything for them. That's not a trade-off. That's a choice. So let's put it all together. Because this isn't just about being quiet. This is about what being quiet reveals about who you are at a fundamental level. Silence is self-containment. It says, I don't need your validation to feel complete. I don't need to narrate my life to prove I'm living it. I don't need to fill every pause with noise because I'm not afraid of my own thoughts. In a culture that rewards the loudest, the most viral, the most visible, silence is actually radical. It's a signal to the world that you are operating from a place of internal security rather than external approval. And that is psychologically rare. The people who built things that last, who changed minds, shifted cultures, moved history, they understood this. They chose their moments. They said less. And when they spoke, the world moved. Here's what I want you to sit with. The next time someone underestimates you because you don't fill the silence, remember this. Your quiet is not a weakness. It is a weapon they have never learned to use. And now you understand exactly why. If this hit differently than you expected, hit that like button right now. It tells the algorithm that real people are watching. Subscribe to Dark Confide. If you want to understand the hidden psychology behind human behavior, drop in the comments. Are you naturally quiet or did life teach you silence? I read every single one.